All right, let's. What do you want? Where do we even begin? All right, I couldn't even believe it. Did you watch last night? I mean, I was not. I was by myself when I was watching it, but I was literally screaming at the screen. The fact is, Joe Biden, he killed it. He really brought his A game, and I'm incredibly relieved. Of course, we don't want anything bad to happen. We already have an uphill climb, but as unfathomable as that is, to think that we in everything that's going on in this great economy. I mean, Joe Biden, for example, has created more jobs in this country in the last 3 years than the last 4 Republican presidents combined. Okay? Joe Biden's State of the Union, 7 highlights. Let's see.
Delivering a feisty and animated State of the Union address tonight. Probably one of the most political addresses I have ever heard before a joint chamber at this time.
That's what they're crying about.
Contrast with Republicans. And while he did not mention Donald Trump's name, he referred to his predecessor more than a dozen times.
Good. We can't mince words about the con man and what he's up to. He's meeting with Orban right now, and Steve Bannon, a criminal who robbed the Trumpanzees and was caught on a yacht with a Chinese billionaire in international waters. But he was pardoned. Steve Bannon was pardoned by the con man. And these idiots are like, yeah, I love me some Steve Bannon. Take my money. The whole thing is a grift. But, yeah. And that's why pesky democracy gets in the way. These are weak people who, they're just parasites. They're the worst parasites. These are parasites that are like, that kick down on people who have no ability to fight back. They call anyone on any sort of public assistance a parasite. Oh, everybody's a parasite, right? Student loan forgiveness. Oh, yeah, I don't want to pay. Anything. If you're during the pandemic, keeping people in their homes, keeping the increasing the unemployment insurance. Oh, yeah, lazy, laying around in the social safety net hammock, and then it comes out all these maggots taking the PPP loans, and George Santos not paying any rent in the apartment that he was squatting in, illegally not paying rent, even though he was receiving, him and his bitch criminal sister they received like $25,000 to cover their rent, and they pocketed it. And then George Santos cried on Twitter, when can I get rent for my 17 or something like that properties that he didn't own? Of course, he had no properties. He's a squatter, cheating his landlord. When will this eviction moratorium end? He said, which was the only thing keeping a roof over his head in New York. But that's what we're dealing with. Very sick, twisted parasites that have no shame. So, all right, let's continue.
Republicans at times.
In January 1941, Franklin Roosevelt came to this chamber to speak to the nation, and he said, I address you at a moment unprecedented in the history of the Union. Hitler was on the march. War was raging in Europe. President Roosevelt's purpose was to wake up Congress and alert the American people that this was no ordinary time. Freedom and democracy were under assault in the world. Tonight, I come to this same chamber to address the nation. Now, it's we who face an unprecedented moment in the history of the Union. And yes, my purpose tonight is to wake up the Congress and alert the American people that this is no ordinary moment either. Not since President Lincoln and the Civil War have freedom and democracy been under assault at home as they are today. What makes our moment rare is that freedom and democracy are under attack both at home and overseas at the very same time. Overseas, Putin of Russia is on the march, invading Ukraine and sowing chaos throughout Europe and beyond. If anybody in this room thinks Putin will stop at Ukraine, I assure you he will not.
Mike Johnson's agreeing, I guess.
But
Oh, well, he
Ukraine-
won't stand up. They don't. They might get up, maggot
Ukraine can stop Putin.
Führer might get upset.
Ukraine can stop Putin if we stand with Ukraine and provide the weapons that needs to defend itself.
But the Republicans, of course, the maggots, Trump, who is a Putin puppet, wants to leave our allies on the battlefield. Like they leave Americans behind every time. So, wait, let's see. January 6th, yes.
Own eyes, the insurrectionists were not patriots. They'd come to stop the peaceful transfer of power, to overturn the will of the people.
These are the same
January
people
6th
who were
lies
attacked.
about the 2020 election and the plots to steal the election posed a gravest threat to U.S. democracy since the Civil War. But they failed.
What's this fucking Mike Johnson's face?
America stood.
What? And he's shaking his head? What are you shaking your head about? A little, where's the dispute? Yeah, because they don't want to upset their con man Führer. That's what it's about. He's out there. The con man is out there saying, "Oh, these are hostages, the scumbags who were convicted of what do you call it? Seditious conspiracy." I can't talk. And many of them pled guilty of this, apologized. They knew they were in the midst of a coup. They were hiding caches of weapons, in case shit really went down. And of course, we all know about Trump, the biggest traitor of them all, saying, "Take down the magnetometers, let them in. They're not here to shoot me." This is how vile these people are, how embarrassing they are. Yeah, so it just pissed me off watching the face of maggot Mike Johnson, Moscow Mike. Oh, and then here's about let's play this part, because they're talking about the border bill.
More immigration judges help tackle the backload of 2 million cases.
What are they shaking their head about? It's fucking public
so they can resolve
information.
cases in 6 months instead of 6 years now.
And there's the author of the bill,
What are you against?
the conservative.
100 more high-tech drug detection machines
Incredible.
to significantly increase the ability to screen and stop vehicles smuggling fentanyl into America.
What's
Killing
to
thousands of
be
children.
upset about? This is what they wanted.
This bill would save lives
It's what's needed.
and bring order to the border.
And there goes that's James Langford, who co-wrote the bill. He's one of the primary sponsor, and a well-respected conservative. I guess he's not maggot enough for them. He'll probably get primaried by some ape
It'll also give me and
with a
any new
podcast,
president
right? He will. You have to. It's getting lower. The bar is getting much lower. You have to, I don't know, be somebody who thinks the moon landing was faked. You have to be somebody who maybe never, like, I'm thinking of Lauren Boebert. She took 4 tries to pass her GED just weeks before she was sworn into Congress. Next time, it's going to get lower. The bar will be lower. We'll have someone who, didn't pass the 8th grade. It's coming. Someone who is illiterate, basically, like ding 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 ding, like some real backwoods, not that, some hovel bitch who probably had a podcast.
New emergency authority temporarily shut down the border when the number of migrants at the border is overwhelming.
This is all public knowledge. That's the other thing. And all right, let me go because I have another clip.
The Border Patrol Union has endorsed
and
this
he's
bill.
Shaking his head.
The Federal Chamber of Commerce is You say
this is
no.
good.
Look at the facts.
Yeah, you're saying no. You got to call these fuckers out. Because the idiots who they go to Fox News on purpose. I don't know why you would want to go to a so-called news channel that had to pay $2 billion for lying to you. Why would you hate yourself that much? Oh, because they feedback loop your manias. Don't you know you're being played? Oh, they don't want you. Everybody else, these elites, they make me uncomfortable because why? They read books, they eat arugula. Like all this fucking bullshit that doesn't mean anything. Oh, you eat arugula. We're real America. We like shooting things and killing animals from helicopters. This is real America. You eat arugula, what else? What other bullshit? Fucking nothing will make you shoot your own, slit your own throat. Because to put some maggot into office that will never leave merely because he's just as racist as you are. And he pats you on the head. He gives you permission to be disgusting and never ever change. That's the new American birthright for the maggots. To never ever learn, never evolve, never change, never grow. Like originalism. What the hell is that? Originalism. I'm an originalist. I shit in a diaper. I'm an originalist. I've never grown. Why change? That's why I shit in a diaper when I was young. I'm going to shit in a diaper when I'm old. Why stop ever shitting in a diaper? I'm an originalist. Which is such a stupid justification. It's like intelligent design. It's like trickle down. Stupid. Hold on. We'll be back with Dark Brandon and Moscow Mike.
They know how to read.
Yeah, do they know how to read?
I believe that.
All right. Well, I'm looking at the time. They were all, they're crying because he's bitch slapping them. He's like, this is the political equivalent of giving them a case of red ass. He's just taking down their drawers and spanking their little bratty butts.
Home to Native Americans and ancestors have been here for thousands of years. Home to people of from every place on earth. They came freely.
They hate that.
Some came in chains. Some came when famine struck, like my ancestral family in Ireland. Some to flee persecution, to chase dreams that are impossible anywhere but here in America.
So woke.
That's America. And we all come from somewhere, but we're all American.
He's not even... he claps under the table a lot. And what's not to applaud? We're all Americans. The melting pot.
We can fight about fixing the border, or we can
incredible fix it. How disgusting they are. Or we can fix it. Yeah. But you know what, Moscow Mike... Here, we'll go... Let me play this clip from... He was on Fox News. He was making the rounds this morning because this is what Republicans do. They know that Dark Brandon knocked it out of the park, and they don't like that. They know that they have also been disarmed. Maybe it's probably temporarily with the maggots, because they'll believe any bullshit that's peddled down their empty gullets and into their empty skulls. So, but the rest of the country that was listening to their bullshit, and they don't pay attention to politics like we do. They kept hearing, "Oh, the Biden he's old, he's dementia, he can't do, he's feeble, and there he is, making them look like assholes again, as always. And once again, it's exposed that they're just bullshitting you. They're lying because they can't meet I wouldn't even say opponent. They can't meet someone a fellow American, a member of another party, a political party. They can't meet them sincerely on the field of ideas. They can't meet them and present their case sincerely and without cynicism to the American people. Just say, we have a different idea about how to create a upwardly mobile, economically vibrant, working class majority. But we all believe in that. And so now here's my idea how to get there. And if you vote for me, blah, blah, blah. They don't do that. That's too much work. That takes work. That takes commitment to the Democratic Republic. That takes commitment to keeping the country as a constitutionally limited democratic republic, because it has to run on agreement. You have to agree to play by the rules. When you lose, you fucking say, well, I lost that one. Now we're all Americans. Let's get together and blah, blah, blah. As everyone before used to do. We can never say that anymore, that we have a 250 odd years of, it's not even 250, but of continuous peaceful transfer of power, and how rare that is. Well, Donald Trump fucked us up with that. And the Republicans, they don't want to have a functioning democracy. We see what's going on, and that's why I'm so glad that President Biden calls it out. This is the choice. You have a guy who does not want to, he's running for president because he is trying to escape the consequences of his life of crime. And he will never leave. So you can't prosecute him while he's president. You can't prosecute him while he's running for president. What would ever motivate the con man to leave? It's just like Orban. That's why he's meeting with Orban. He's not meeting with, the democratic leaders of our Western partners. Those people he goes to and he says, yeah, you got to pay up. Pay up. Yeah, you don't pay. You don't pay. I mean, what a petty little bitch. You want to talk about embarrassing? That's embarrassing. You got $20? You got to pay? It's just a small little goon that has no business. That's like perjury trader Green. Like the accidental speaker, maggot Moscow Mike Johnson. They have no business being in the halls of power because they have no balls.